Hello, my friends, it is I, Tyrodin Reinhardt, and I'm coming back to you guys today with another opinion piece video, because there is an issue that is becoming more and more prevalent in the Overwatch community that is absolutely doing my head in, and it's to the point now where in every single match that I'm getting, mainly competitive, but you know there are instances in quick play as well, where there are just absolutely toxic players, people who genuinely go out of their way to make someone else feel like shit based on the hero that they've picked or a lack of communications, etc. Like, there's just a whole menagerie of different reasons for which these people prey and want to get a reaction out of their teammates. It's not good for the longevity of the game if these people are allowed to continue doing what they're doing without any repercussions and any consequences. Alrighty, so let's get into the meat of this thing. So the first thing I really want to establish, guys, is the frequency of encountering these players within your games. Because I know personally, for me, I'm encountering these motherfuckers in my game, like pretty much once a game. Once every game, I will either have someone like that, and it's on my team as well. It's not just on like the enemy team, it's usually on my team. A lot of the instances as well in which I'll be referring to happen more and more in competitive than it does quick play. And again, that's not to say that it doesn't happen in quick play, because I have been in quick play games where you used to get these absolutely spiteful, hateful little tiny people that their whole objective, it seems, is to rain piss and shit down on their teammates for any little decision or any little flaw in which they can see. And it's something that, honestly, it's the most repugnant, vile shit that you can do, especially if in a competitive environment where the key to victory is often the morale of a team. It's working together effectively, having good communications, and just have a general awareness of what you and your team is doing. And you can only really communicate that effectively with, cohesion within a team. So it's very self-defeating when these players step into the competitive arena, and all they want to do is just rain fuck upon their teammates for like a hero pick or out of position play that they might have made. Like it's so detrimental, and it often snowballs to the point where that person that is being picked on or bullied or fucking being made an example of ends up retaliating in kind with more vitriol and more malice, because it's human nature to do that. If someone fucking picks on you, you're gonna fucking pick on them right back. Someone points out your flaw, you're just gonna point out their flaw right back, and it achieves nothing. There's no diffusing of that situation. And ultimately, I think, especially for competitive games and Overwatch in specific, it just leads to an inevitable defeat on your team, because you've already got this breakdown of collaboration within the team, and no one's playing at their best because they're pretty much concentrating on the bullshit going on within team voice chat, or the little flame war that's going on in text chat if they're doing it over text. So again, it's all of this diversion that is completely unnecessary within the competitive environment. And yeah, usually this all stems from like a single comment that someone will make over voice or chat, and usually, and I swear most of you have probably heard this, you've heard the expression, your hero is trash, your main is trash, get off and pick a different hero because we don't need that hero. That is the most that honestly that is such an instigating fucking statement when to hear that in like a competitive environment. It pretty much at that point, if someone's saying that, then they're the sort of person that I'm specifically targeting in this video, because it serves no purpose, and you can achieve the same result without being an absolute asshole going about it that way. When in reality, all that needs to be said to address that specific instance is, hey man, I think this hero is not doing so flash. Are you able to switch on to another hero? Or maybe I can switch on to this hero and you can switch to this hero, and we can see how that goes. It's so unnecessary to be fucking sending out, you're trash, this hero is trash, what the fuck are you doing? When all you have to do is take that extra minute to be nice about it and be like, hey, let's do it this way. Or hey, what do you think about this? And you know what? I guess the reaction is entirely back on the person that you're addressing. But if you go about it the right way, and you go about it as as decently and as genuinely as possible, then it puts it back on you and makes, diffuses the situation before it becomes an issue. And the person that you're addressing, they are going to react positively 9 times out of 10. I'm not saying that every time you ask nicely, you're going to get the desired outcome, because you will get that guy's like, no, I'm just going to stay on Hanzo, or no, I'm just going to stay on Genji, I don't care that I'm getting fucking hooked by the Roadhog. Like, that will occur, but you drastically diminish that aspect from happening if you are just being a genuine nice person and asking with sincerity. So what do we do when that person that you've asked is continuing to be an absolute ass clown and is flaming you back? I mean, what can we do in that situation? Well, currently, all you can really do is mute the player and then report them for, griefing, spamming, whatever they've done to, offend, right? I just don't think that's good enough in this day and age, because realistically, yeah, you can report and you can report and you report. What does that really do? Honestly, what does that really accomplish? When you take that action, I mean, you get no notification that, the person that you have reported for being a genuine fucking asshole, we've actually taken action, and you know what? We've given him a 24-hour probationary period, or we've given him a 48-hour, voice chat ban. Like, nothing like that happens. Nothing like that happens, and there's no follow-up from that initial report. It's like, thank you very much for reporting this player. We'll take your fucking issue and address it. But there's no follow-up. So if that player is being, a cunt to you, right? And, everyone else has reported him because, he's just being a complete fucking troll. But there's no follow-up. There's no follow-up of it. There's no consolidation of the fact that, hey, this guy's just done this to my team. Maybe he's going to do it to another team as well. Realistically, it's just looking out for, future players who are going to encounter this specific individual. Now, I like the model that Valve has gone with Dota 2, right? So, in that game, very specifically, there's a system in place for reporting and getting players on, I guess, a Zenoti list for Valve and Dota 2 specifically, right? So you've got low priority matches that they are put into, and usually it's for, X amount of hours, okay? There's also the muting system in that game. It's like if they've been reported for griefing, spamming, trolling, voice chat, etc., there is an audio, ban that can be put on their account for a limited period of time, 24 hours, 48 hours, however long it needs to be to address that individual's actions during previous games. I think that's ideally what I would like to see in Overwatch, because it means that these players that go out of their way to make others feel like shit, there will be consequences for their actions. And I completely agree that it should be, a 24-hour ban. Maybe if you don't want low priority games, maybe it's a 24-hour competitive ban. Like, they cannot join the competitive queue for 24 hours, right? Or, depending on the severity of it, how many people reported them, etc., maybe it can go as long as, a 72-hour ban from competitive. Alright? If these players want to be assholes towards others, take away the enjoyment and the fun from the game, then screw it. They're not allowed to play in the competitive environment. You know what? Even if we want to take it a step further, maybe we say that they can't even do normal quick play. Maybe there is such a thing as a low priority quick play where, people like that individual aforementioned, that's where they go. It's like the penalty box, yeah? It's like, okay, you fucked up. Think about what you've done, young man. I'm gonna put you in the sin bin. You know what I mean? There you go. You're there now. I think it's a really good opportunity for these people who do act like this in competitive games and quick play games to really reevaluate, what's more important to them. Is running their mouth off for something stupid really worth that 24-hour, ban from, quick play, or that 24-hour, mic ban or chat ban or whatever it happens to be, depending on the severity of what they've done. I think, honestly, it would add more weight as well to this situation abroad. It's like, okay, well, these are the known consequences of my actions if they're interpreted like that. Obviously, it's not going to stop it outright. You will always have people like that, just as there are in every other competitive game out there. But, at least there will be more consequences than, hey, there's just a report button for that individual. Or, no, you'll have to mute him yourself. Do you know what I mean? I think it would add a lot of credibility to Blizzard if they were taking an active step in addressing these specific players. You know, having a system in place for these players to really be like, you know what, if I do this again, I'm gonna fuck up, and it's gonna keep eating at me, and I'm not going to enjoy the game because I'm going to be permanently audio banned, or I'm going to be, pretty much stuck in this low priority for the rest of, my time unless I change what I've been doing. I honestly believe that a system like this does need to be implemented in some fashion into Overwatch, because I've talked to a lot of different people about this issue. I know that this is something that they would like to see, as would I, because as it stands at the moment, there's very little consequence for the griefing, trolling, for the general assholery that these people can really inflict on a match. I mean, how often have you ever been in a match, quick play, or specifically competitive, where one individual has caused your entire team to lose a couple of rounds or lose the match out entirely because of their trolling, because of their negativity, and the fact that they just do not want this person to be on this hero, so they're going to throw the game. I've been in that situation so many times, especially when I play with like Baz or Elliot. These people they're a staple, they're a part of the game, and they're one that I think Blizzard lets get away with murder, frankly, because they ruin the game, they ruin the fun, they ruin this entire mindset that Blizzard have set up, which is, all about positivity and loving the game and, respect to your fellow players, etc. These guys don't give a fuck about that. They're just there to fuck you over if you piss them off. And I hate that. I hate that aspect is in the game. I hate that these people fucking are a thing. I wish I could do more, honestly. And whenever I hear these people, I try to defuse the situation before it gets out of hand. But again, 9 times out of 10, they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. And they will ruin someone's day. They'll ruin someone's game just to prove a point, because fuck that person. I'm better than everyone else. And it's just so detrimental to the game, especially when you're having so much fun. Like, I love playing competitive. It is seriously the best competitive game I've played since Dota. And that's no bullshit. It gets me excited. It gets me happy. It makes me angry at the same time. Like, it brings out the best and the worst in me when I play competitive. But it's so much fun. So to take out, that fun aspect of competitive because of some fucking asshole who's just out to make everyone's day shit, just because he's had a bad time, well, fuck that guy, man. Like, where is the help for the regular players? I hate that this is such a big issue within the community, and it's just getting worse, man. I'm finding more and more people are acting the way that I've mentioned in this video, and it's something that I can't really do anything about. But shit, I'll address the issue where I can. I'll make it known where I can, because I hate the fact that it's come to this, man. To me, Blizzard has always been a company that has prided itself on positivity, on making games that are enjoyable, and essentially just making sure that everyone is having a great time. Everyone's enjoying what they're doing, right? This is one specific area that I think they've really dropped the ball with, because there's no addressing this specific issue in the current state of Overwatch. I really hope that in the future there is a system similar to maybe Dota 2's ban system or mute system, because it's something that I think is really needed. Because I can't tell you how often we encounter these players now, and I'd really like to hear what you guys have to say on the issue, because I think it's something that if we honestly come together as a community and enough voices are being put out there about this issue, it's something that Team 4 can't ignore. I'm sure that they're aware of it at the moment, but I bet that they're so busy at the moment with, content patches, with balancing, bug fixes. It's very on the bottom of their to-do list with regards to, optimizing the game, right? But again, if we have enough voices rallying around the same issue, maybe it's something that they can bump up on their priority list. Because I would hate to see this game fall by the wayside because it develops a toxic community mentality. I would hate to see it go the way of like Heroes of New Earth in regards to toxicity and elitism, because that game is just a fucking benchmark for that shit. Like League of Legends has the same sort of issue, I guess. So does Dota 2. All of these games do have that iconic, trolly, hateful, shitty fucking player, right? Or shitty players. But at least those games have a system for dealing with these individuals. You know, something with actual consequences. I want to see this implemented in Overwatch in some way, shape, or form. I'm sure most of you would like to see that as well, because these players don't deserve to be allowed to do this to not only us, but to other people as well, especially like the newer players that come into Overwatch. Like a brand new player that jumps into Overwatch, you know, he does, 20 games to get his rank up to level 20, then he jumps into a competitive, and could you imagine the first thing he hears is, "Why have you picked Hanzo? We don't need a Hanzo." Or, "Why have you picked Torbjorn? We don't need a fucking Torbjorn." Or, Symmetra, or whoever, whatever hero it happens to be. And that's the first exposure they've got to a competitive environment. Fuck no. If that happened to me today, I'd be like, no, fuck this game. Like, why the fuck is this guy giving me a hard time? I'm just trying to enjoy the game. Fuck that, dude. So this is something that, is near and dear because it's something that needs to be addressed. And I'm glad I've taken the opportunity to talk to you guys about it, because I think it's something that this community can address. We, as the Overwatch community, can come together and be like, hey, this is what we would like to see implemented into the game to address these small minority of individuals that are consistently making our games less than optimal, consistently bringing down the state of these games. I honestly think that we have an opportunity to do that. Blizzard do listen to everything. They really, really do. If we get enough voices behind this, if we get enough people, rallying behind the cause, I genuinely think that they can't ignore it and they have to address it. And it's something that I think the sooner it's implemented, the better it will be for the longevity of the game. Anyway, guys, that's just my 2 cents on the issue. I really hope you got something out of today's video, and I'd really like to hear your personal experiences when dealing with these individuals. Have you encountered them as much as I seem to encounter them? I'm in Diamonds, Masters, and Low Grandmasters at the moment. They're the games I get put in, but do you guys encounter them in your skill brackets? I'd really be curious to see whether you get them in Bronze, Silver, Gold, and Platinum, and whether you get even more people in that bracket. I'd be really curious to see whether that's the case. So please, guys, drop a comment down below and let me know whether that's the case, because again, I would be really curious to see whether it is. In the background, we've just got that legendary PvE run that we did with Elliot, Zilbrad, and Lynette, and Jesus, was this fucking hard to accomplish. But we did it, so I'm glad I captured it all for you to see. So those asking for it, there you go, here's the proof. If you guys want to see me tackle other issues that you guys have encountered, or maybe that you have with the game, let me know, because it's something that I really want to start doing. I love doing my opinion piece videos, and the reception that I get from you guys back on them, superb. Anyway, guys, I love you all. Auf Wiedersehen!